Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois for Undisputed on the 12th of July. Wow. Really? Really? Is that really happening? I'm not sure about that, man. I'm not sure about that. Listen, so I've had a few messages from viewers, do you know what I mean, messaging me on Instagram and everything like that, asking, yo, Enzo, is Usyk and Dubois, is he really on like for the 12th of July? So I'm like, yo, what do you mean? Where are you getting this information from? And then I dropped a video yesterday, last night, and a few people in the comments as well were mentioning, yo, Enzo, don't you know that Oleksandr Usyk is already in camp, he's training, he's going to fight Daniel Dubois on the 12th of July. I'm like, again, thinking, yo, where are you guys getting this information from? Because I haven't heard anything. Do you know what I mean? I've went back and did some research and, you know, listened to a few things that Uncle Frank has had to say in the last couple of days, even weeks. Maybe I missed something. But you know what? Nothing, man. I didn't get nothing. I didn't hear nothing at all. In fact, Uncle Frank, just on the show gone past this weekend, the Joe Joyce versus Hergovich card, Uncle Frank was actually interviewed and he talked about Usyk might even drop the title, the WBO title. Do you know what I mean? And Dubois and Parker can fight for the IBF and the WBO title. He didn't mention nothing about the fight, or he didn't hint nothing about Dubois and Usyk fighting. Obviously, he still maintains that he's like what he wants to see is a rematch between Dubois and Usyk. But he didn't mention nothing about, you know, there's an announcement or anything happening. So I was thinking, yo, where are people getting this information from? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, a couple of people on my comments actually mentioned the channel. I don't mind saying the name. Listen, I respect the guy anyway. Counterpunch Boxing. That's the name of the channel. Counterpunch Boxing. So what I did, I went over there anyway. So I went to check out some of his videos. Shout out to Counterpunch Boxing, man. Do you know what I mean? I like his channel. You know what I mean? He sounds like he definitely knows his boxing. Do you know what I mean? So shout out to my guy. Respect to him. I think he's all the way in America. Yeah, so I checked out his channel. I found a video that he was actually talking about, like the fight that's gonna happen between Usyk and Dubois. I think it was like about 4 days ago. He dropped the video, and you know he was talking about, yo, it's breaking news. Apparently, he's got sources on the inside of Usyk or something like that, or Daniel Dubois, one of them, and they've basically, gave him game. They've told him, yo, listen, Usyk and Dubois are gonna fight on the 12th of July, and the announcement is imminent. They're gonna announce it soon, but he hasn't followed it up. Counterpunch hasn't followed up that video. Obviously, dropped it 4 days ago. He hasn't dropped another video to kind of clarify or give a bit more info. So he just brought the news. He left it out there. Do you know what I mean? He left it for people to just imagine things and or just talk about it. But I don't think it gained any traction because I've obviously done some digging myself, a little bit of investigation. You know how I do. I checked out other channels as well. Do you know what I mean? People that actually know their boxing, people that have relationships on the inside and stuff like that. I'm not going to mention no names, but no one's really spoke about it. Do you know what I mean? No one's mentioned anything at all. No hints, nothing. So Counterpunch Boxing, I don't know, man. He's got way more sources than I do. Do you know what I mean? He knows people in areas that I clearly don't. So I don't know where he got his information from. I can't really clarify or really like kind of back him up on the information that he's got because I can't verify it myself. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of just watched the video and saw, oh, okay. Where does he get his information from? Because seriously, when I've done my digging, I've done my searching, I've seen nothing. I've found nothing that shows me or even hints that there's a fight signed already between Usyk and Dubois for July the 7th. You know what I mean? Obviously, Counterpunch, he decided to just come out with it. Do you know what I mean? And break the news and everything like that. But he hasn't followed it up or anything like that. But listen, obviously, look, most likely fight that's going to happen, the scenario that's going to happen, we're probably going to see Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois fighting for the Undisputed. What's going on right now behind the scenes? Obviously, they are trying to negotiate a deal with the governing bodies. Do you know what I mean? The WBO and the IBF, they're trying to, kind of like just persuade them to kind of like just give them exemptions. Do you know what I mean? So that Usyk and Dubois can fight each other for Undisputed. Because obviously, listen, they can't just go ahead without the blessing of the WBO and the IBF. Do you know what I mean? They can't just press ahead because they're going to get stripped. Let's say they announce their fights and they haven't negotiated any type of deal with the governing bodies. They're going to get stripped. Do you know what I mean? They are going to get stripped and their fight is going to be meaningless. It's not going to be for Undisputed. Do you know what I mean? Because not all the belts are going to be on the line. So they're trying to make sure behind the scenes, they're negotiating, trying to get an exemption. Uncle Frank, I'm sure he's working his damn hardest to make that fight happen. Trust me, I'm sure behind the scene every day, he's making phone calls, he's in meetings, he's trying to make things happen. I would not be surprised if in the next week or two, the fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois is announced. I will not be surprised at all. Do you know what I mean? Because I know these guys behind the scenes are going hard at it, but I can't come out and confirm and say, yo, the fight has definitely happened. July 12th. Nah, because I have no information on it, no evidence that I can produce and show to you, that actually confirms the fight. But would it be a surprise if the fight that's happened? Of course not. Of course not. Do you know what I mean? Of course not. Listen, I've always been an advocate that Joseph Parker should get a title fight. I even dropped a video last night. I said, look, Usyk, he can even do the right thing right now, yeah? That will actually gain him even more respect from the boxing fans because he's already got a lot of respect. But a lot of fans want Joseph Parker to get a title fight. If Usyk, I suggested, if Usyk was to drop the WBO title and allow Dubois and Parker to fight for the IBF and the WBO titles, Usyk waits in the wings and he fights the winner. Because Usyk really, he's only got one fight left in boxing. One serious fight. He's got another 18 months, he said. The second fight, he wants it to be like a gimmicky fight. He wants to fight like a Jake Paul, Alex Pereira from the UFC. He wants to go out, make loads of money and just chill out. Understandable, he's 39 years old. He's done anything in the game. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't need to prove anything. But, like I suggested, I said, it's not a bad thing if he was to drop the WBO title. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't like say that don't happen. That I wouldn't rule that out. That could actually happen as well. Do you know what I mean? That could happen as well. So I would not rule out Usyk dropping the WBO belt. Do you know what I mean? But as far as a fight between Usyk and Dubois being confirmed from July the 12th, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. Obviously, look, right now they're going to keep everything stum. They're not going to say nothing. What they want to do, they want to surprise the world. They want to do this big announcement. You know how Frank Warren does. There'll be a press conference announced at Wembley or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Dubois, Usyk will come out. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be like, yo, this is the fights for Undisputed. So it will be a big deal when it happens. And also, I'm sure some of the other channels, like the big channels, the people that are really well connected, they'll start giving us a hint of what's happening because obviously they're in the know, innit? They know people around those circles. So they'll be able to start giving little snippets, give a little hint here and then before the big announcement itself. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, for all my viewers that requested this video, that wanted me to go and investigate and check out and actually confirm if Oleksandr Usyk is fighting Daniel Dubois on the 12th of July, I can tell you right now from my side, for my investigations, for my digging, for my research, asking people questions as well. Do you know what I mean? In the right places. I've done some digging myself in some teams. I found nothing. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they're just not telling me nothing. Maybe counter-punching, boxing, he knows more. He knows people, in areas that I don't. Do you know what I mean? But from what I found out, there is no fight yet being confirmed. There is no deal signed yet. Rest assured, when it does happen and there's an announcement and thing like that, listen, I'm going to come on here. We're going to talk about it. Do you know? But like I said, I want Joseph Parker to get title fight next. And that's what I'm advocating for. And that's what I hope happens. But if Usyk and Dubois happens next, listen, I'm going to come on here. We're going to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Listen, once again, Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you know what I mean? Do you actually believe Usyk and Dubois have already signed the deal and the fight is going to be on the 12th of July? Maybe you have more information than I do. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you're in the know, you're more well connected more than me. So let me know in the comments. But once again, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'm your boy Enzo. Please don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because that's the only way you're going to help us to grow. I'll be back real soon with another one, my people. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.